Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Kevin, and yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I actually wanted to talk to you guys about buying an e-bike, what to look out for, and just in general what type of bikes are out there to buy. Basically just a simple simple type of buying guide when it comes to buying a e-bike, what kind of e-bike you can get, how much they generally cost, and whatnot, and things like that and whatnot. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Right now I'm actually on my way to go get a I gotta go to Vitamin Shop, get some amino acids for my workout and whatnot. So I figured, today I'll take out the bike. So first thing I want to talk about is the type of bikes you can get. They have, when it comes to buying an e-bike, they have all sorts of bikes, pretty much all kinds of bicycles for whatever your use is. Whether if you want a road bike, that's generally you're going to be riding it on the road and on the paved trails and whatnot. Thank you. Or they also have mountain bikes, whether if you want to go off-roading with it, or take in mudding and things like that into like deeper waters and whatnot. And that's generally the type of e-bike that would be used for. It's more of like a mountain bike style. Let me go ahead and squeeze through everybody here, sorry. But anyway, that's generally the type of e-bike that you would find on a, if you were trying to go more of an off-road style on the trail, things like that. Now, if you're trying to get for a more overall aesthetic look, they also have the foldable bikes. There's also cross-tour bikes, whether if you want a bike that is mainly for on-road use or off-road use. Generally like the Surons, you know what I mean? You could take those generally on the road, or you could also ride those on the street. Not ride those on the street and on the road, that's the same thing, or ride those on the trail. It also depends on the kind of bike you want too, whether if you want something that's lightweight or pretty heavy, depending on what you want with it. There's multiple kinds of bikes for that stuff, and multiple different classes. Like if you were to get like a Suron or a Diamondback foldable e-bike, they generally have them, I want to say around the 70-pound range. I'll post a link. I'll post a list on the top right corner, the type of e-bikes you can get that are generally cross-tour name brand kind of bikes. But yeah. That's generally what that would be. It all depends on the kind of style that you want and what you want to do with it. Now, with that also mentioned, some of them also have different specifications. Whether if you want a bike that's only got 250 kilowatt motor with a 10 kilowatt battery, something to get you around town to a grocery store, or like a general road bike and e-bike would have. That's generally what you would get, or you can get something like mine, fully custom made and whatnot, or like a Suron with a 72 volt 72 volt 20 amp hour battery. They do also have e-bikes where they have they have the option for a dual battery setup, where that increases the range to twice as much, and I think that's generally worth it. They do have those. There's some of them, I'll list those brands as well, which ones have a dual battery setup or offer for it. speaking of which, I am gonna I am gonna do a build series on building the battery for this bike soon. I just haven't had the chance to, but definitely I'm gonna get started on that soon. But yeah, so they also do have those, whether if you want a dual battery setup, single battery setup, or if you want to get a cargo bike for, you know, hauling things and whatnot. They have also those as well. But yeah, that's generally what I usually use, and a lot of other people use. They also have different setups for different legalities and whatnot. Some places they only allow for 750 watt motors or kilowatt motors, along with other places only allowing for 250. Go ahead. Which can also range in a variety of different things. And with that being said, that also equates to the amount of charging time required for those bikes. They have those limits generally in place so that this way you don't have an overpowered bicycle, along with taking too much power off the electrical grid. That was one of the two main reasons that those limitations exist, along with the safety. The safety hazards that these e-bikes can occur, you know, or incur. Like mine, doing 60 miles an hour on an e-bike is just absolutely nuts. You know, sometimes I feel like it's a little bit even too much for me, as some people have mentioned. But you know, hey, life goes on and we get better at it. So nobody's perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, and I am definitely man enough to admit it on YouTube, that's for sure. But yeah, so with that said, a lot of these e-bikes you can expect to have a charging time of anywhere from 1 hour to, you know, 6 or 7 hours. Actually, not 1 hour, more like 4 hours to 6 or 7, sometimes even 9. That's just for a single battery setup. If you were to do a dual battery setup on one charger, you can charge for up to 12 to 18 hours. Or you can charge between two different chargers, and it would charge at the single battery rate of 4 to 6 hours, depending on what it is and where you're going and whatnot. Charging time also varies, you know. Also depending on the type of outlet you use and how much power the bike has. So like a 72 kilowatt motor, like the Surons, take anywhere from 6 to 9 hours on average. Like this one here takes me from dead to full, takes me about 7 and a half. And I only know this because I did the last week I did not last week, I think last month. Yeah, last week I did the full long range test to see how far it would go, and I ended up getting, I think, 88 miles altogether. But still, out of the 88 miles, it took about 7.5 hours to charge from empty to full. And yeah, that's generally what you're going to be looking at, and that's on a single battery setup. If you were to do a dual battery setup on one charger, you're looking at twice as long, but you're also looking at twice as far too. So it depends on the bike. I honestly feel like it also depends on the weight and the power, mainly the power to weight ratio. If you have a lightweight with a lot of power, you'll definitely be able to go a lot farther than normal, that's for sure. But if you were to have a heavy bike with the same setup, you won't be able to go anywhere near as far. So yeah, that's generally about it. Let me run inside really quick. I gotta go pick up my order. It's pretty much right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab it really quick, and then once I'm done, I'll continue the video. Alright guys, so I'm back. I know we were talking about charging times and range and all that, but another thing you want to look out for, I feel like when it comes to, you know, buying an e-bike, this is what I've noticed is generally you want to look for you know, the type of features you want to get to. So if you want to get something like, you know, with the keyless entry and whatnot, or not keyless entry, but like keyless mode, where you know you have a remote and an alarm and whatnot. Some of those bikes do come with that too, and they come with a premium. But there's a lot of different bikes out there where if you want something with just basic needs, you know, to and from, it's definitely a 250 kilowatt motor, not 250 kilowatt, a 250 watt motor, and a standard 5 or 10 amp hour battery with 36 volts is more than enough. Absolutely more than enough to do the job, that's for sure. But if it were up to me, sorry buddy, if it were up to me, definitely I would say it's much better, it's a much better bang for your buck to go ahead and actually build your own bike, because a lot of times when you buy these e-bikes, you got to build them anyway, you know. Even though sometimes they're illegal, yeah, absolutely, 100% mine, I can tell you, is illegal, right? Absolutely, I already know that. And that's why I'm definitely trying to advocate riding safely and whatnot, and then work on, you know, how my riding is, making sure that I'm safe about it, because I don't want to end up in any sort of legal trouble or anything, especially while I'm recording stuff. But anyway, definitely, you know, you could get some with keyless entry, some not keyless entry, keyless, you know, motion detection and whatnot, or you could set it up where it's got an alarm anytime, you know, where you have to have the key and all that. Definitely, you could go along with that route as well. It all depends on what you want. You know, there's all these different e-bikes. They come with the different range and the different specs and all that, what you're looking for, and you know, what you want out of it. There's definitely different features, and they're all worth it for sure. Now, with the price range, speaking of the price range, depending on what you want, whether if you want something that's heavy and lightweight, along with a higher range, higher output battery with higher range and a lot of, you know, features and everything you can get, all the bells and whistles and things like that, you're looking anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000. But if you want something that let me just squeeze by this guy. But if you want something that you know, has a better range, and, you know, or not as much of a range where you have to put a lot of work into it, definitely you can swing a bike with a 250 watt motor, and, you know, 500, what is it, not 500 amp hours, like 5 amp hours of battery. You could swing that for like 250 bucks, something relatively cheap. Or you could even put your own kit together and get the same thing, and it would be 10 times cheaper than, not 10 times cheaper, but it would be a lot cheaper than what you would normally pay at a retail store. So it really all depends on what you're looking for. The price ranges from, you know, 250 bucks to like $4,000 or $5,000. Like a Sur-Ron costs like, I think, a crazy amount of like $6,200 right now at the stores, at the dealerships, and they actually have like certified dealerships who are just specifically Sur-Rons, which is honestly nuts. But, you know, if you were to get any old e-bike from any old bike shop or reputable bike shop, you're looking at anywhere from like $250 and up for a standard, you know, actually I think maybe even $450, but either way, 450 bucks for a 250 kilowatt motor bicycle that can go 20 miles an hour for 10 miles, which is what most people want to do anyway, and actually get a good workout in where you're actually doing most of the work, then yeah, you're looking at around 400 bucks, 500 bucks altogether, and I think that is absolutely worth it for sure. Now, granted, if you're trying to do something like what I did, you're looking at anywhere, or building your own custom e-bike, whether if it's a 36 volt with 10 amp hours or a 72 volt with 19 amp hours like mine. You're looking at anywhere from, I think, yeah, you're looking at anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a bike, and even that's worth it, because essentially it's an electric motorcycle. So yeah, those are my things. Generally, what you're looking out for is, whether it depends on the features. The more you want out of the bike, the more expensive it's going to be. Whether if it's for a road bike, mountain bike, cross tour bike, comfort bike, cargo bike, things like of those nature, that's pretty much what you're looking at. They're absolutely worth it. And overall, my answer is, should you get an e-bike? Absolutely. Are these things to consider while getting an e-bike? Absolutely. Should you take my words for it? Should you take my words for, or take my word for it? I think you should, to an extent, not fully. Again, I can't make your decisions for you. You know what I mean? And I can only make recommendations of what kind of brands you can get for specific kinds of bikes. And I'll list all the brands with different kind of e-bikes, and for each different type of e-bike, and I'll have those listed for sure. But
Can we talk?
But absolutely, I think getting an e-bike is a must for sure for everybody. Just to have fun with it and ride it around and whatnot. Like even today, I had a guy with at the vitamin shop tell me that he actually he liked my e-bike a lot, and I told him to come to the channel and whatnot. So till then, I'll see you guys next time, and then we'll go from there. Shout out to the guy at Vitamin Shop, dude. Carl, you're an awesome guy. I'm gonna give you a shout out on the channel. So I'll see you around, and then see you in the next video. Take care.